I'm going to keep it simple today. I'm going to share with you 4 examples from the life of Enoch of how he walked with God, and we're going to build on each one of those applications in our lives. Number 1, Enoch began walking with God after he had a son. All right, that might sound small for some of you, but for those of us who are fathers, for those of us who have children, for those of you who are mothers, you know the massiveness of this. Let's look at this once again. Genesis 5:22 says, Enoch walked with God after he begot Methuselah 300 years and begot sons and daughters. So the walk that Enoch had with God began to take place after he had a son. Why is that significant? Well, something happens to men after they have children. Some of us as men, we start to grow up. There's some things we no longer do once we see the child and we're like, I'm responsible for him. I'm accountable to him. For some reason, he looks up to me. He really trusts and believes that I can take care of him. Like, that level of accountability comes with a level of responsibility, and it can change your perception as a man. And the same is true for women as well. I know women, the moment they have kids, they say, I'm not going to the club anymore. I can't party like I used to. I have a son, I have a daughter who depends on me now, who looks to me now. I gotta act right. So what I'm trying to say is when you have children, something begins to happen to your way of thinking. You start to grow up somewhat and leave behind the foolishness and focus on the things that actually matters that will benefit your children. So the birth of a child is not a small thing, and I can tell you when I look past my life, and if you don't know who this one is, it was Josiah. So once without hair and once with hair, don't ask me what happened. But the thing is, when I saw that face, I'm like, is this for real? Shock value, like what's going on here? But I eventually began to realize, in order for me to care for this kid, I need to make sure I take care of myself and start acting right. And then another one came around. And then I said, I gotta take care of this one too. And now you really gotta clean things up. And not counting the extras that the Lord has blessed our families with when it comes to Amara and Isaiah. So the point of the matter is that having children can be a time in your life when your life is truly transformed, in which when your ears are now open to hear the voice of God. So what is it that motivated your walk with Jesus? It could be children. It could be the death of a loved one. In some cases, natural disasters bring people to God. I've heard a situation that took place in Haiti, where I'm from, when the 2010 earthquake happened, and the church was packed the same day. Now, some of them left, but some of them stayed. Even the voodoo priests who worship the devil, they became Christians overnight. All I'm simply saying is, it seems like in the midst of a natural disasters, there are some people who will bow the knees to God and they will remain there. So what I'm trying to say is, even trials and persecution that takes place could be a means through which God is calling some of us to change our ways. So I hope this afternoon we get to speak a little bit about the significance of fatherhood. And I hope to see every single one of you, because we have an amazing meeting tonight. I mean, at 3 o'clock, so I hope that you guys can come back, because we're going to pick up on that somewhat. So what I'm trying to say is that God speaks to circumstances in your life, and you have to be willing to pay attention. And as you listen, God will show you things. And if you are in tune with his spirit, you will begin to discern his voice. He speaks through them. We are told a little bit about trials, and I want to focus on this a little bit because for those of us who are getting up there in age, aches and body and pain, certain things no longer work as they used to. It's not so much your fault. It's just what comes with the title of being human. Sometimes, yeah, we can make bad decisions to make matters worse. But in many cases, with all the good decisions you've made, eating right, walk, and sometimes disease will attack your body just because you exist. So when those things happen, what do? Well, here is the thing. We are told in the book, I'm reading from the book of Peter, we are told that the trials of your faith, being much more precious than that of gold that perisheth, though it be tried with fire, might be found unto praise and honor and glory at the appearance of Jesus Christ, whom you have not seen, you love, in whom, though you see him not, you believe, you rejoice with joy unspeakable and full of glory. And the point is, what you are going through is preparing you for the second coming of Jesus Christ. And before Jesus comes again, you need to have faith to believe in him. So the trials plays a significant role in making you a better Christian. Acts of the Apostles 524, paragraph 2, we are told trials is part of the education given in the school of Christ to purify God's children from the dross of earthliness. It is because God is leading his children that trying experiences come to them. Wow. I thought if I become a Christian, everything should be good. There should be no issues. Well, that's not the case. We are told if God is really leading you, trials are going to come and knock on your doors. We are told trials and obstacles are his chosen methods of disciplines. And what else? In his appointed conditions of success. So, I like how Mr. Charles Spurgeon said it. He says, when trials comes to your house, just, hey, man, I have a seat waiting for you. What took you so long? I knew you were coming. In Romans 8:28, we are told, for we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to his purpose. There we go. It's working now. So it's going to be okay. It's going to work out for God's glory and to his purpose, as long as you love God. No matter what you're going through, in the end, it's going to work out for God's glory. It's going to benefit you in the end.